Hello everyone, how are you? So mock test unit wise as per your choice, it is started. I hope you have watched the first class, the unit 1 drama mock test challenge. There were more questions, but I could only record 60 questions. But okay, no problem. We will have a lot of practice of the different types of questions. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the literary criticism, not discussion. This is also the mock test. I will finish the mock test unit wise every day within 10 days or 5 days you will finish. So mock test, let's see. Literary criticism, how much you have prepared, because you know na literary criticism and literary theory terms, devices, linguistic, these are the scoring topics as well as the fear of all the students. Okay, so check your score and tell me in the comment section that how much you have actually scored. Okay, so let's start the class and check how much you are going to score and to comment. Okay, and also tell me the level of the question so that I can bring more tricky or we can get this type of. Okay, so let's start the class. Do subscribe the channel, share, and also if you want the PDF, everything is mentioned, you can join. Here is the first question, that is the matching. Okay, so matching, you have name list one critics and list two works. Okay, so Horace we have Aristotle, Quintilian and Sidney, and Poetics, Ars Poetica and Apology for Poetry and Instituto Oratoria. So we do not have to see the options, it's clear, it's very easy to guess. Horace, we can take him to Ars Poetica, Aristotle Poetics, Quintilian Institute of Oratory and Sydney and Apology for Poetry. So as per this statement, you can match with A with second, B with first, C with fourth, and D with third. Okay, so this is how you can match. So correct answer would be this. Now, question number 2. Which two of the following criticism did Samuel Johnson make against the metaphysical poets in the life of Cowley? Option we have, they made an inappropriate combination of wit and imagination. Option B, instead of writing poetry, they only wrote verses. They neither copied nature or nor life, and they never tried to be singular in their thoughts. Which two of the following criticisms did Samuel Johnson make against the metaphysical poets? Okay, the life of Cowley. Remember, and then find out the two statement in criticism Samuel Johnson made against the metaphysical poets. He was the one who coined the term metaphysical poets regarding all the writers. Okay, so here are the options. Do quickly comment. This is the mock test. We can't take much time. Correct answer of this question would be option A and C. Okay, option A and C only. The first, they made an inappropriate combination of wit and imagination. This was there. And the C, they neither copied nature or nor life. Next question you have. According to Longinus, which of the following is not a feature of the sublime? It is the essence of all great poetry and oratory. Option B, it is interested in the usual rhetorical goal of persuasion. Option C, it valorizes a special use of language, sometimes how tongue twisted. Option D, it is a matter of reader response. According to Longinus, you have to find out that which of the following is not a feature of the sublime statement by Longinus. Okay, not in the negative sense, you have to eliminate one answer. Okay, so correct answer of this question would be option D. It is a matter of reader response. This one is not fit as per the sublime. Next question we have. Do not miss the mock test class altogether, all the other classes. Next question, Aristotle and Plato belong to which phase of criticism? Hellenic, Hellenistic, Renaissance, or Greco-Roman? Aristotle and Plato belong to which phase of criticism? Quickly comment your answer. And the one who has joined the channel, if you're not able to get the PDF, you have to simply go to the description. There is an email mentioned. You can simply email me for the PDF. I will email. Okay. Correct answer of the question would be quick. So Aristotle and Plato belong to which phase of criticism? It's option A, Hellenic. Okay. Next, the poetry and literary terms sections are very important, and mostly the students got fear from. So, who was the first literary critic who said that art is twice removed from reality? Plato, Aristotle, Longinus, or Horace? Art is twice removed from reality is said by none other than option A, Plato. Okay. Next, which critic is credited with coining the term touchstones as a method for evaluating poetry by comparing a new work to established classics? I.E. Richard, T.S. Eliot, Matthew Arnold, Clint Brooks. So, touchstone method or touchstone theory or touchstone term is only a concept related with the option C, Matthew Arnold. Okay. Next question. Now, next time I'll put a timer, and that according to you have to answer within 5 seconds. In poetics, Aristotle defines catharsis primarily in relation to which literary genre? Epic poetry, comedy, lyric poetry, tragedy. Aristotle. It's option D, tragedy. Okay. Next question we have, and these questions, if there are difficult, I will add the explanation. Which school of criticism focuses on the inherent meaning of text without relying on external factors like the author's biography, historical context, or audience response? Psychoanalytic criticism, new historicism, reader response criticism, or new criticism? Inherent meaning of a text without relying on any other external factors, external background, whether it's about the writer's biography, or any other factor. It's option D, new criticism. Okay. Next, the term intentional fallacy, which argues that the author's intended meaning is irrelevant to the interpretation of literary work, was primarily introduced by whom? Roland Barthes and Michel Foucault, Vincent and Beardsley, Alan Sholter and Sandra Gilbert, and option D, M.H. Abrams and Northrop Frye. Intentional fallacy, in which there is a concept clear that the author's intended meaning is irrelevant to the interpretation of a literary work. Who introduced this term? So it is option B, Wimsett and Beardsley. Next, again, which feminist critic introduced the concept of gynocritics, a critical approach that focuses exclusively on women's literature and the female framework for creativity? Simone de Beauvoir, Judith Butler, Helen Zeiss, or Ellen Sholter? Gynocritics, gynocriticism. So it's option D, Ellen Sholter. Okay. Next, the structuralist concept of lang, the overall system of language versus parole, individual utterances or speech, was developed by which key figure? Jacques Derrida, Ferdinand de Saussure, Claude Lévi-Strauss, or Roman Jakobson? So lang and parole is a very popular by key figure Ferdinand de Saussure, a Swiss linguist. Okay. Which critical term describes the unfinalizability or many voice dents of a text? A concept central to the work of Mikhail Bakhtin, unfinalizability or many voiceness. Intertextuality, dialogism, heteroglossia, or monologism. Intertextuality you can simply eliminate, and the remaining one, dialogism, heteroglossia, these are the terms by Mikhail Bakhtin. Okay. So correct answer of option B, dialogism. Okay. Next, T.S. Eliot, in his essay Tradition and the Individual Talent, argues that a new work of art alters the entire existing order of literary works. This concept is often referred to as the objective correlative, the historical sense, dissociation of sensibility, or impersonality. Remember, T.S. Eliot's all the concepts are very important for the exam perspective. In his essay, what he has discussed or argued, tradition and the individual talent. New work of art alters the entire existing order of literary text. I should have given the time for you. Then if I will give you the time like this, na, the video will become longer. So by the next time or from the next question in this video. I won't read the options, but this is the mock test. You have to read. I will only read the question, okay? And the option you will read yourself and comment your answer. Yeah, but only few comment, not the all. So correct answer here is option B, the historical sense. Okay. Next, Homi K. Bhabha's concept of hybridity is closely linked to which other term that describes the colonial subject's ambivalent limitation of the colonizer? Read the options. So let me clear. It's option A, mimicry. Okay. Next, the statement, there is nothing outside the text. And here is written in other language. A fundamental assertion of post-structuralist thought is attributed to which major theorist? Michel Foucault, Jacques Lacan, Roland Barthes, and Jacques Derrida. Literary criticism and theories somehow the both related. Okay, read the options. Oh, I read the options. Okay, so option D, Jacques Derrida. Next, the metaphysical poets. In the metaphysical poets, the work by T.S. Eliot, he famously diagnoses a dissociation of sensibility that occurred in which century, resulting in a gap between thought and feeling in poetry. Here are the options. The metaphysical poets by T.S. Eliot. The term was coined by Johnson, Dr. Samuel Johnson, and also this is the work by T.S. Eliot. So it's options A, 17th century. Okay. Move on to the next. The term thick description. The term thick description, a key methodological concept involving the detailed interpretation of cultural science, is primarily associated with the work of which anthropologist theorist, whose ideas influenced new historicism and cultural materialism. The term thick descriptions, a key methodological concept. This is the important concept, thick description. It is already appeared in the exam. So it is actually related with the option B, Clifford Geertz. Okay. Next, which Russian formalist concept refers to the artistic technique of presenting common things in an unfamiliar or strange way in order to enhance perception and force the reader to notice them? So it's option C, Austrian defamiliarization. Okay, Victor Shlotsky, this is the concept to remember, frequent for the exam. Now, next question, which concept central to the work of Mikhail Bakhtin describes the presence of multiple distinct voices and perspective within a single text, often without one dominating the others? All the options given here now are by Mikhail Bakhtin and want to always appear in the exam. So it's option B, polyphony. Okay. Next, the concept of interpellation, where individuals are hailed into subject positions by ideology, is a key contribution to Marxist literary theory by whom? Options. Interpellation, the concept is where individuals are hailed into subject positions. It's option C, Louis Althusser. Next, according to the influential essay Can the Subaltern Speak by Gayatri Chakravarti Spivak, the subaltern is primarily unable to speak because options. Correct answer. It's option D. The system of representation themselves foreclose their agency and voices. Okay. Next, this is the matching again. Here is the critics and the works or text. I. A. Richards, T. S. Eliot, Matthew Arnold, Aristotle. And the work you have the function of criticism at the present time, practical criticism, traditions, and the individual talent and poetics. Altogether, while doing the matching, you must remember the year also, okay? The specific age that all these writers belong. I.E. Richard, we can take him to the practical criticism. So, in second, we will find only in the option B, second, okay? So, it would be the correct. T.S. Eliot, tradition and the individual talent, third. Matthew Arnold, the function of criticism, Aristotle, poetics. Next, this is the matching again. Here is the term and theory or school. Interpolation, gynocriticism, difference or Lang and Parrot. Structuralism, deconstruction, Marxist criticism or feminist criticism. You have to find out the terms that is actually associated with the critical schools or theories. So interpolation, if we'll match with Marxist criticism, okay, so we can find the correct answer. A in third. Option A would be the correct answer. Next, again it's matching. Critics and concept or term, I.E. Richard, Raymond Williams, T.S. Eliot, and Stephen Greenblatt. Cultural materialism, objective correlative, practical criticism, and new historicism. So D, Stephen Greenblatt, we can match with the 4. Okay, cultural materialism, Raymond Williams, I.E. Richard, practical criticism, and T.S. Eliot, objective correlative. Okay, so D with 4 we can find in the option A only. Next, there is the in list 1 approach and list 2 you will find accession, structuralism, deconstruction, new historicism, and new criticism. And here are the sessions you have to match them correctly. Now these type of questions na, you must practice because this is how they ask majorly. Match with the meaning, the session. So it's option 2. You can match structuralism with meaning resided in the system of language. Okay. Deconstruction, you can match with the sorry. Deconstruction, you can match with for meaning is constantly deferred. So here. And new historicism, you can take him to the all representation is social construct, truth is historically. And the last one here, you can take it to the third. The text is an autotelic entity whose meaning is instinct and stable. Next question. A statement based. Oh God. Here are the two statements regarding Samuel Johnson's criticism of Shakespeare's adherence to the three unities. Okay, one second. Let me make it. Statement 1 is saying Johnson argued that Shakespeare should have strictly followed the unities of time, place, action because dramatic illusion depends on the audience believing they are witnessing a continuous real time event in one location. While statement 2 is saying Johnson famously dismissed the significance of the unities of time and place, arguing that the audience is always conscious that they are in a theater and that dramatic probability is maintained as long as the plot, that is the unity of action. So, read the options here 1, 2, 3, 4 and find out the correct answer. This type of question, I think we should discuss more, right? The correct option would be option B. Statement 2 is correct and statement 1 is incorrect. Why? Johnson argued that Shakespeare should have strictly followed the narrative. No, there is no such thing. So this one statement is incorrect while the second one is correct. We will discuss this thing in the discussion class. Again, there is a matching. You have in list one theorist and list two concept. Wolfgang Iser, Mikhail Bakhtin, Raymond Williams, Homi K. Bhabha, and here are the concept. Match them correctly. So Wolfgang Iser we can match with the second horizon of expectations. Mikhail Bakhtin we can take him to the dialogism. Homi K. Bhabha already with fourth and the Raymond Williams cultural materialism. Okay. Next, yeah, this type of question. You have to match the term with its a definition. Okay. Australian fabula, Shize and literature lost. Term and definition. Correct answer. I'm giving you time to think because you know the questions are now lengthier. Now do comment about today's class. You want more question like this? We should practice more. The correct answer here is option first. A2 we can match Austrian the aesthetic distortion to make the familiar strange. Okay, the defamiliarization concept remember by Victor Slosky. Fabula is with the sequence of events as they happen in a narrative, and she says the same the way events are artistically arranged. So with the third and D with the fourth, that which makes a given work of literature. Remember this thing I have discussed in the literary criticism class. Statement based question you have now assertion and reason. Assertion is saying the new critics emphasized close reading and the concept of the text as an autonomous object. And reason is saying they proposed that external information such as the author's intent or historical context were necessary for a complete understanding of the text. Read the options. So it's option C. A is true, but R is false. Okay. The new critic emphasized close reading of the text. Remember, and the concept of the text, the external factors or background, autonomous object for the reader. And reason was that assertion and reason both should be related. What the reason assertion is, the reason must be the cause or the reason or the explanation. So you have to relate and then find out the correct answer. Next, it's again the matching. Australian defamiliarization, the anxiety of influence, hybridity and mimicry, and polyphony and dialogism. You must practice such questions every day. 20 to 25 or 15 to 20. Just make a daily routine to practice till the exam. So it's easy. We can match polyphony and dialogism here, hybridity and mimicry here, anxiety of influence, Harold Bloom, and defamiliarization. Okay. Next, list one work and list two author. You have to match the well wrought on the function of criticism at the present time, principles of literary criticism, and the sacred wood. Here are the options: T.S. Eliot, I. Richard, Matthew Arnold, Green Brooks. Correct answer it's the well wrought on. Option A with 4 we can match. Brook. So in this we can find only. So this is how the option A would be the correct answer. B, the function of criticism at The present time we can match with Matthew Arnold. C, we can take a principle of literary criticism by I.A. Richard. And the sacred wood we can take to the T.S. Eliot. Okay. Next question, everyone. It's again the statement and reason. Statement based questions. Okay. And it's too lengthy. Okay, so we have done the 30 questions of literary criticism. Any questions we will discuss in the next class. Do not miss this. If you want the PDF, you can comment. Thank you so much for joining. Do practice regularly. Take care of yourself and bye bye.